compassionate. Dear sisters, today I want to remind you of something incredibly powerful and beautiful, that being loved and favored by Allah is the greatest honor and blessing any woman can receive. This love is not always loud or visible. Often it comes in gentle whispers, subtle signs, and quiet strength. Allah's love surrounds you even when you feel alone, and His favor shines through even when darkness clouds your path. Divine love is the most profound and intimate connection that a woman can experience, and it transcends all worldly forms of affection. It is a love that is rooted not in fleeting emotions or circumstances, but in the eternal mercy and wisdom of Allah. This love is a sacred bond, one that transforms the heart and soul in ways nothing else can. When Allah loves someone, His love envelops that person with protection, guidance, and endless mercy, even if outwardly life seems difficult or confusing. The uniqueness of this divine love lies in its personal nature. It is tailored to each individual, reflecting their needs, struggles, and potential in ways no one else can perceive or understand. In the Quran, Allah reveals this reality when He says, "Indeed, Allah loves those who rely upon Him." Surah Al-Imran 3:159. This verse captures the essence of what it means to be loved by Allah, to place complete trust and reliance upon Him, no matter the circumstances. When a woman turns to Allah in moments of weakness, despair, or uncertainty, her reliance is itself an act of worship and a demonstration of sincere faith. This trust is not passive, it is active surrender and a heartfelt acknowledgement that Allah's wisdom surpasses human understanding. It is in these moments of total surrender that Allah's love becomes most apparent, for reliance on Allah draws one closer to Him and invites His mercy and favor. This love from Allah is often unseen and silent. Unlike human love, which can be expressed through words and gestures, divine love is felt in the heart and soul. It is the quiet reassurance that no matter how lonely or overwhelmed a woman may feel, she is never truly alone. Allah's gaze is upon her, watching over her every step, aware of every sigh and tear. This unseen love is profoundly comforting because it assures her that she is known deeply and loved unconditionally. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught us that Allah is closer to us than our jugular vein, a reminder that His love is not distant or detached, but immediate and intimate. One of the most beautiful aspects of Allah's love is that it does not depend on one's perfection or achievements. It is not reserved only for the pious or those who appear strong and successful. Instead, it extends to every soul, even those who feel broken or burdened by their mistakes. Allah's mercy, which is intertwined with His love, is vast and all-encompassing. The Quran states, "Say, O my servants who have transgressed against themselves by sinning, do not despair of the mercy of Allah. Indeed, Allah forgives all sins. Indeed, it is He who is the forgiving, the merciful." Surah Az-Zumar 39:53. This verse is a lifeline for every woman who has ever felt unworthy or distant from Allah's love. It reminds her that no matter how far she may have strayed, Allah's love remains accessible, waiting to envelop her with forgiveness and renewal. The process of recognizing divine love begins with understanding that it may manifest differently than worldly affection. For example, a woman may experience periods of hardship or loneliness, which may feel like abandonment, but are actually signs of Allah's deeper care. Sometimes Allah tests those He loves most severely, refining their character and faith, just as gold is purified through fire. The trials and tribulations one faces can be expressions of divine love designed to elevate the soul and bring a person closer to Allah. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "No fatigue, no disease, no sorrow, no sadness befalls a Muslim, even if it were the prick he receives from a thorn, but that Allah expiates some of his sins for that." Bukhari. This hadith beautifully illustrates that even suffering is imbued with Allah's mercy and love, serving a greater purpose beyond immediate pain. Beyond trials, divine love also reveals itself in the moments of ease, gratitude, and spiritual awakening. A simple smile, a heartfelt prayer, or a sense of peace during difficult times can be signs of Allah's love touching a woman's heart. These moments of grace may feel small but carry immense spiritual weight. Like the gentle rain that nourishes a parched land, these signs refresh the soul and strengthen the bond between a woman and her Creator. When a woman pauses to reflect on her blessings, the loved ones who care for her, and the opportunities to grow, she is witnessing the subtle ways Allah's love manifests in her life. Another vital aspect of Allah's love is the invitation to seek Him through worship and remembrance. The act of turning to Allah in prayer, reading the Quran, and engaging in dhikr, remembrance, is not only a means of drawing closer to Him, but also a response to His love. The Quran tells us, "And we have already sent messengers before you, O Muhammad, among the former peoples, and there never came to them a messenger, but they ridiculed him. Thus do we insert it into the hearts of the criminals. They will not believe in it while there has already occurred the precedent of the former peoples." Surah Al-Sir, 15:10-13. Despite disbelief and hardship, the persistent love and mercy of Allah remain present for those who open their hearts and trust in Him. Each act of worship is a step deeper into this divine love, building resilience and hope. In practical terms, many women find that Allah's love transforms their daily lives in profound ways. It gives them the strength to forgive others, to endure difficulties with patience, and to maintain hope in times of despair. When a woman is loved by Allah, she carries a light within her, a light that shines quietly but unmistakably, guiding her through challenges and inspiring those around her. This divine love acts as a source of empowerment, reminding her that she is never powerless because her Creator is with her. This personal unique love from Allah also teaches humility and gratitude. It invites a woman to look beyond material success or societal approval, and to find true contentment in knowing she is cherished by the Most Merciful. The relationship between a woman and Allah becomes a sanctuary where she can lay down her burdens and find unconditional acceptance. This acceptance fuels hope and courage, encouraging her to move forward even when the path is unclear. Moreover, divine love inspires a woman to extend mercy and compassion to others. Recognizing how deeply she is loved by Allah encourages her to love and forgive those around her, embodying the very mercy that she receives. This cycle of love and mercy is a powerful testimony to the transformative effect of being favored by Allah. Ultimately, the uniqueness of Allah's love means that it will appear in forms and moments that are perfectly suited to the individual's journey. It might be a sudden sense of peace during prayer, a timely answer to a desperate prayer, or an unexpected act of kindness from a stranger. These signs, no matter how subtle, are reminders that Allah's love is always near, always active, and always designed to uplift and nurture. Spiritual resilience is one of the clearest signs that a woman is loved and favored by Allah. It is the invisible strength that allows her to endure difficulties, rise after setbacks, and keep her faith alive even when the world around her seems to be crumbling. Resilience is not merely about surviving hardship, but about emerging from it transformed, with a heart that is stronger, purer, and more deeply connected to Allah. It is a gift, a mercy, and a sign that Allah is actively shaping her soul for a greater purpose. When a woman faces trials, whether they be personal loss, family struggles, financial difficulties, or emotional pain, how she responds reveals much about her spiritual state. Allah does not promise that life will be free of hardship, rather He reminds us that tests and challenges are an inherent part of this worldly journey. The Quran states, "And we will surely test you with something of fear and hunger, and a loss of wealth and lives and fruits, but give good tidings to the patient." Surah Al-Baqarah, 2:155. Patience here is more than passive endurance. It is an active, conscious choice to trust Allah's wisdom and to maintain hope despite pain. The woman who chooses patience and steadfastness under pressure embodies the resilience that Allah favors. Resilience is closely tied to the understanding that hardships are not random or meaningless. Rather, they are deliberate tests from Allah, designed to cleanse the soul, elevate status, and erase sins. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught that no fatigue, nor disease, nor sorrow, nor sadness, nor hurt, nor distress befalls a Muslim, even if it were the prick he receives from a thorn, but that Allah expiates some of his sins for that. Bukhari. This profound statement reveals that resilience is intertwined with divine mercy. Enduring hardship with patience becomes a pathway to spiritual purification and reward. Each difficulty is an opportunity to draw closer to Allah, a sign that one is beloved and chosen for His special care. One of the most beautiful examples of resilience in Islamic history is the life of the Prophet Muhammad's first wife, Khadija. May Allah be pleased with her. She faced not only the challenges of being the first to believe in the Prophet's message, but also the trials of societal rejection and personal loss. Yet her unwavering faith, courage, and support for the Prophet in those early difficult years reflect a spiritual resilience rooted deeply in trust and love for Allah. Her example teaches us that resilience is not about denying pain, but about standing firm through it with unwavering conviction. In daily life, resilience manifests in many subtle yet powerful ways. A woman who wakes up each morning and chooses to face the day with a heart full of hope, even when her circumstances are difficult, is demonstrating resilience. She may have experienced grief, disappointment, or betrayal, yet she continues to trust that Allah's plan is unfolding perfectly. This trust is not naive optimism. It is the fruit of a soul that has learned to surrender fully, recognizing that Allah's wisdom is greater than her own understanding. Resilience is also shown in the ability to forgive, not only others but oneself. Many women struggle with guilt, regret, or feelings of inadequacy. Yet the resilient woman knows that Allah's mercy is greater than any mistake she has made. She actively works to forgive herself and to seek Allah's forgiveness, thereby freeing her heart from the chains of despair. This act of forgiveness is itself a sign of Allah's favor, a clear indication that His love is transforming her from within. Moreover, resilience is nurtured through the support of community, prayer, and remembrance of Allah. When a woman surrounds herself with those who encourage patience and faith, she is more likely to develop the inner strength to persevere. The Quran reminds believers, "O you who have believed, seek help through patience and prayer. Indeed, Allah is with the patient." Surah Al-Baqarah 2:153. This verse emphasizes that patience is not solitary but communal, supported by spiritual practices that connect one deeply to Allah's presence. The process of building resilience is also deeply personal and spiritual. It often begins with moments of despair or crisis that force a woman to confront her vulnerabilities and lean wholly on Allah. These moments, though painful, are often turning points, signposts of divine love guiding her toward greater reliance on Him. Like a bird that learns to fly only after leaving the nest, a woman's spiritual resilience grows when she steps into the unknown with faith. A vivid image that captures this journey is that of a tree weathering a storm. The wind may bend its branches, the rain may weigh down its leaves, but its roots grow deeper into the earth, drawing strength and nourishment from below. Similarly, a woman's faith deepens through hardship, anchoring her soul firmly in Allah's mercy. The storms of life do not uproot her, instead they strengthen her foundation. Resilience also inspires hope in those around her. When a woman demonstrates patience and trust despite adversity, she becomes a living example of faith in action. Her resilience radiates a quiet power that encourages others to hold on to hope and to trust in Allah's plan. She becomes a beacon of light in her family, community, and beyond, reminding others that they too can overcome their struggles with Allah's help. Furthermore, spiritual resilience fosters a sense of gratitude that transcends circumstances. Even amid hardship, the resilient woman finds reasons to thank Allah for the breath in her lungs, the support of loved ones, the lessons learned through difficulty. Gratitude, in turn, nurtured resilience by shifting the focus from what is lost to what remains. The Quran beautifully captures this dynamic. "If you are grateful, I will surely increase you in favor." Surah Ibrahim 14:7. Gratitude and resilience thus form a powerful cycle of spiritual growth. The journey of resilience is never linear. There will be days of weakness, moments when doubt creeps in, and times when the burden feels too heavy. But each return to faith, each renewed act of patience and trust, is itself a sign of Allah's ongoing favor. The woman who continues to strive, despite setbacks, exemplifies a soul beloved by Allah, a soul being prepared for even greater blessings and closeness to Him. In the end, resilience is the heartbeat of faith. It is what keeps the flame alive during the darkest nights and propels the believer forward toward the light of Allah's mercy. This resilience is not earned by human effort alone, but is a divine gift nurtured by Allah's love and mercy. The more a woman surrenders to Allah's will and embraces patience, the more this resilience blossoms within her, making her a clear sign of being loved and favored by her Creator. Inner peace and contentment are profound signs of a woman loved and favored by Allah, often shining quietly amidst the chaos of life. This peace is not merely the absence of external turmoil, but a deep-rooted tranquility in the heart and soul that surpasses understanding. It is a gift from Allah, a reflection of His mercy, and a confirmation that He is close to her, guiding and comforting her through every trial and joy alike. When a woman experiences this serenity despite the storms around her, it is a powerful indication that Allah's love is firmly established within her heart. The Quran offers a beautiful reminder of this inner peace. Verily, in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest. Surah Ar-Ra'd 13:28. This verse captures the essence of tranquility, rest for the heart that is not dependent on fleeting worldly pleasures, but rooted in a constant connection to the divine. The remembrance of Allah through prayer, reflection, and gratitude creates a spiritual sanctuary where the soul can find refuge. For a woman embraced by Allah's love, this sanctuary becomes a source of strength and comfort, a place where she can retreat from life's worries and feel secure in the knowledge that her Creator is always near. This peace is often accompanied by a sense of contentment that transcends material conditions. A woman favored by Allah is able to find gratitude even in difficult circumstances, because she understands that true happiness comes from submission to Allah's will. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "Richness is not having many possessions, but richness is the richness of the soul." Sahih Muslim. This richness of the soul is reflected in the woman who remains content with what she has, trusts in Allah's decree, and refrains from excessive longing or dissatisfaction. Her heart is filled with a calm assurance that Allah's plan is perfect and that her needs will be met in the best way, even if the timing is unknown. Real-life examples abound of women who embody this peace despite facing immense challenges. Consider the story of Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, the beloved wife of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. She endured personal trials, political upheavals and loss, yet her faith never wavered. Her writings and narrations reflect a soul at peace, grounded in trust and love for Allah. Her example teaches us that inner peace is not a result of a life without hardship, but is forged through faith and reliance on Allah's mercy. This inner peace also manifests as patience and forgiveness. A woman loved by Allah does not allow anger, resentment or bitterness to take root in her heart. Instead, she forgives others and herself, recognizing that holding on to grudges only disturbs the tranquility that Allah wishes to bless her with. The Quran instructs believers to forgive and overlook faults, and let not those of virtue among you and wealth swear not to give aid to their relatives, and the needy and the emigrants for the cause of Allah, and let them pardon and overlook. Would you not like that Allah should forgive you? And Allah is forgiving and merciful. Surah An-Nur 24:22. This attitude of forgiveness is a clear sign of the peace that flows from Allah's love. Another vivid way this peace appears is in the way a woman carries herself and interacts with the world. Her demeanor is calm and composed, even in stressful situations. She speaks with kindness and listens with patience. Her calmness is like a river that flows steadily despite obstacles, nourishing those around her with comfort and reassurance. This demeanor is not a superficial act, but the natural outgrowth of a heart rooted in Allah's mercy. People around her feel this tranquility and are drawn to it, often seeking her company and counsel, because she embodies a light that dispels fear and doubt. This sense of peace is also closely linked to trust in Allah's wisdom and timing. When things do not go according to her plans, the woman who is loved by Allah accepts it without despair or frustration. She understands that Allah's knowledge and plan are far beyond her own, and that delays or setbacks may carry hidden blessings. The Quran reminds us, and it may be that you dislike a thing which is good for you and that you like a thing which is bad for you. Allah knows but you do not know. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:216. This awareness brings calmness because she surrenders her desires to the greater wisdom of Allah, confident that what He decrees is ultimately for her benefit. Inner peace also nurtures a deep sense of gratitude. Even when circumstances are challenging, a woman favored by Allah finds reasons to thank Him. Gratitude shifts the focus from what is lacking to the blessings that remain, cultivating a heart that is full rather than empty. This practice of thankfulness opens the door to further blessings, as Allah promises in the Quran, "If you are grateful, I will surely increase you in favor." Surah Ibrahim 14:7. Gratitude becomes a cycle of spiritual nourishment, feeding the soul's contentment and reinforcing the presence of peace. This peace is not static but dynamic. It grows stronger with every act of worship, every moment spent in reflection, and every sincere prayer. A woman who maintains her connection with Allah through salah, prayer, reading the Quran and making dua, supplication, continually replenishes her spiritual energy. These acts become lifelines, moments where she recenters herself and renews her trust in Allah's mercy. Over time, this constant renewal solidifies her peace, allowing her to navigate life's challenges with grace and courage. There are also times when peace comes unexpectedly, like a sudden calm after a storm. In moments of distress or confusion, a gentle reminder from Allah, through a verse of the Quran, a comforting prayer or an act of kindness can flood the heart with reassurance. These moments serve as clear signs of Allah's love, revealing that He is near and attentive. They teach the woman to remain hopeful and steadfast, knowing that Allah's mercy can arrive at any moment to soothe her worries. For many women, this inner peace becomes a sanctuary where they can retreat from the world's pressures and anxieties. It is a sacred space in the heart where they meet their Lord in sincerity and devotion. This sanctuary is not exclusive to moments of worship but can be found in everyday acts of kindness, patience with family, and even in silent moments of gratitude. It is the awareness that no matter what happens externally, the soul remains anchored in Allah's love and mercy. This peace also brings with it a clarity of purpose. When the heart is at rest, a woman can better discern her path and make decisions that align with her faith and values. This clarity prevents confusion and despair, empowering her to face life's uncertainties with confidence. Her choices become reflections of her trust in Allah and her commitment to living a life that pleases Him. The presence of this inner peace also strengthens relationships, both with family and community. A woman who is calm and content naturally spreads positivity and harmony. Her peace helps to ease conflicts, foster understanding, and build strong bonds. This ripple effect illustrates how Allah's love not only transforms the individual, but also impacts those around her, creating circles of mercy and compassion. A deep sense of gratitude is one of the most illuminating signs that a woman is loved and favored by Allah. Gratitude is more than just a polite response to blessings. It is a profound state of the heart that acknowledges Allah's countless favors and turns every moment into an opportunity for worship. This gratitude is a reflection of a heart awakened to the beauty of Allah's mercy and generosity, recognizing that every blessing, big or small, is a direct gift from the Most Merciful. When a woman consistently expresses gratitude, even in the face of hardship, it signifies that her relationship with Allah is strong, and that she is firmly anchored in His love. In the Quran, Allah commands us, "If you are grateful, I will surely increase you in favor." Surah Ibrahim 14:7. This powerful promise reveals the transformative nature of gratitude. It is a gateway to more blessings, both spiritual and worldly. Gratitude is not only about being thankful for what one has, but also about recognizing the wisdom behind what one does not have or has lost. It is the acknowledgement that Allah's plan is perfect and that every trial or blessing carries a purpose designed for growth and benefit. The woman who is favored by Allah exhibits gratitude by constantly reflecting on her blessings, no matter how seemingly insignificant. She recognizes the breath in her lungs, the beating of her heart, the roof over her head, and the loved ones surrounding her as precious gifts. This reflection keeps her grounded and humble, preventing arrogance or entitlement. It also nurtures a sense of awe and reverence for Allah's boundless generosity. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "He who does not thank people does not thank Allah." Tirmidhi. This hadith highlights that gratitude extends beyond our relationship with Allah to how we appreciate the people and circumstances in our lives, weaving a fabric of kindness and humility. Gratitude is especially profound when it is expressed during times of difficulty. A woman loved by Allah finds reasons to be thankful even when facing loss, pain, or uncertainty. This does not mean she denies the hardship, but rather that she embraces a broader perspective, a trust that Allah's wisdom is beyond her immediate understanding. She might thank Allah for the lessons learned through trials, for the strength gained in adversity, or for the hope that keeps her going. This ability to find light in darkness is a hallmark of true gratitude and a sign of deep faith. In the Quran, the story of Prophet Ayub Job illustrates this beautifully. Despite enduring immense suffering, he remained patient and grateful, calling out, "Indeed, adversity has touched me, and you are the most merciful of the merciful." Surah Al-Anbiya 21:83. His gratitude amidst suffering became a testimony of trust and love for Allah, and he was ultimately rewarded with relief and blessings. This example encourages women to hold on to gratitude as a means of maintaining hope and connection to Allah during their own trials. Gratitude also manifests through acts of worship and charity. A woman who is thankful to Allah will show it by increasing her prayers, reciting the Quran, and engaging in dhikr, remembrance of Allah. She understands that these actions are expressions of thankfulness and ways to nurture her relationship with her Creator. Additionally, she gives generously to those in need, knowing that sharing her blessings is a way to multiply them and to express gratitude through service. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "The upper hand is better than the lower hand. The upper hand is that which gives, and the lower hand is that which takes." Bukhari. Gratitude inspires generosity, making her a channel of Allah's mercy in the world. Moreover, gratitude shapes how a woman views her own imperfections and challenges. Instead of despairing over her shortcomings or past mistakes, she thanks Allah for His mercy and forgiveness, knowing that every moment is an opportunity for renewal. This attitude frees her from the burden of guilt and encourages her to strive continuously for improvement. She is motivated not by fear or shame, but by love and appreciation for Allah's unending kindness. Gratitude also nurtures resilience, as it shifts the heart's focus from what is missing to what is present. When a woman practices gratitude, she builds an inner reservoir of hope and contentment that sustains her through difficult times. This inner strength, fueled by acknowledgement of Allah's blessings, allows her to remain patient and optimistic. It is this spirit of thankfulness that gives her the courage to face uncertainty without losing faith or hope. The effect of gratitude is also visible in how a woman interacts with others. Gratefulness softens the heart and cultivates kindness, humility, and forgiveness. It enables her to appreciate the efforts and presence of those around her, fostering stronger relationships built on mutual respect and love. When gratitude is sincere and consistent, it radiates outward, creating an environment of peace and harmony. The act of being grateful also deepens a woman's awareness of her dependence on Allah. Gratitude is a humble acknowledgement that all blessings come from Him alone, and that without His mercy she would have nothing. This realization strengthens her reliance on Allah, and her commitment to worship Him sincerely. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "Whoever is not grateful for small things will not be grateful for large things." Ahmad. This teaches that gratitude begins with mindfulness of everyday blessings, and grows into a comprehensive appreciation for Allah's continuous care. In moments of solitude, a woman favored by Allah often turns her heart to silent gratitude. Whether through whispered prayers or peaceful contemplation, she cultivates an ongoing dialogue with her Creator that nourishes her soul. This intimate connection becomes a wellspring of joy and peace, reinforcing her sense of being deeply loved and cherished by Allah. The ripple effects of a grateful heart extend beyond the individual. When a woman expresses gratitude, she influences her family, friends, and community by inspiring others to recognize and appreciate Allah's blessings. Her example encourages a collective culture of thankfulness and spiritual awareness, enriching the lives of those around her. This interconnectedness shows how one woman's gratitude can become a source of widespread blessing. Finally, gratitude encourages a woman to look beyond the temporal and invest in the eternal. By appreciating the transient nature of worldly blessings and valuing the everlasting rewards of the hereafter, she aligns her priorities with Allah's promises. This eternal perspective brings peace to her heart and strengthens her motivation to live a life pleasing to Allah. Trust in Allah's plan is the cornerstone of a woman's journey toward being loved and favored by her Creator. This trust, or tawakkul, is not a passive resignation but an active, vibrant reliance on Allah's wisdom and mercy, even when the path ahead seems uncertain or difficult. It is the deep conviction that Allah's decree is perfect, that He knows what is best for His servant, and that whatever unfolds in life is part of a divine plan crafted with infinite knowledge and compassion. When a woman embodies this trust, she displays a spiritual maturity that draws her closer to Allah and signals her status as one of His beloved. The Quran beautifully articulates this principle, and whoever relies upon Allah, then He is sufficient for him. Surah Allah 65:3. This verse reassures believers that true reliance on Allah provides not only peace of mind but also sufficiency in all matters. The woman who trusts Allah does not live in constant anxiety or despair over what she cannot control. Instead, she surrenders her worries to Him, confident that He is the best disposer of affairs. This surrender is an act of worship itself, a demonstration of faith that transcends mere hope and becomes a lived reality. Trust in Allah requires deep faith that what He decrees is ultimately for one's benefit, even if it is not immediately apparent. Life may present situations that seem unfair or harsh, loss, rejection, illness, or disappointment, but the woman who trusts Allah understands that these trials are temporary and purposeful. The Quran reminds us, "But perhaps you hate a thing, and it is good for you, and perhaps you love a thing, and it is bad for you. And Allah knows while you know not." Surah Al-Baqarah 2:216. This verse invites believers to relinquish their limited perspective and embrace a broader divine wisdom. Trust thus becomes a shield against despair, and a source of hope that Allah's plan is unfolding perfectly. This trust is not blind, but informed by knowledge and reflection. The woman who places her trust in Allah does so after striving with sincerity and effort. She does her part, working, planning, making dua, and then entrusts the outcome to Allah alone. This balance between effort and reliance is emphasized in the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who said, "If you were to rely upon Allah with the reliance He is due, you would be given provision like the birds. They go out hungry in the morning and return full in the evening." This beautiful analogy shows how trust does not negate responsibility, but rather complements it, fostering a harmonious relationship between human action and divine decree. Real-life stories from the lives of the Prophet's companions and righteous women throughout history highlight the power of trust. For instance, Khadijah, may Allah be pleased with her, placed unwavering trust in Allah when she accepted the Prophet's message. Despite the risks and uncertainties involved, her trust was rewarded abundantly, both spiritually and materially. Similarly, women today who trust in Allah's plan amid difficult circumstances often find unexpected doors opening, relief arriving just in time, and blessings manifesting in ways they had not imagined. These stories inspire and remind us that trust is not merely theoretical but practical and transformative. Trust also brings with it a sense of peace that calms the restless heart. When a woman trusts Allah completely, she no longer feels the burden of controlling every aspect of her life. Instead, she rests in the knowledge that Allah's wisdom surpasses all human understanding. This peace acts as a protective barrier against anxiety, fear, and doubt. The Quran reassures us, "Those who have believed and whose hearts are assured by the remembrance of Allah." Unquestionably, by the remembrance of Allah, hearts are assured. Surah Ar-Ra'd 13:28. Trust and remembrance go hand in hand, creating a spiritual synergy that strengthens faith and nurtures tranquility. In practice, trust manifests in many ways. It can be seen in how a woman responds to setbacks, with patience rather than frustration, with hope rather than despair. It shows in her willingness to let go of grudges or plans that did not materialize, accepting Allah's decree with grace. Trust also encourages her to remain steadfast in worship and good deeds, knowing that these acts please Allah regardless of immediate results. It fosters humility by reminding her that she is ultimately dependent on her Creator for everything. Moreover, trust in Allah's plan cultivates resilience. When a woman faces obstacles, her trust prevents her from becoming overwhelmed or giving up. Instead, she views difficulties as tests that will either elevate her status or cleanse her sins. This perspective transforms trials into opportunities for growth and nearness to Allah. She embraces hardship with the assurance that Allah will not burden her beyond her capacity. Allah does not burden a soul beyond that it can bear. Surah Baqarah 286. This promise bolsters her spirit and fuels her determination to persevere. The dynamic of trust also enhances a woman's relationship with time and patience. She understands that some blessings may be delayed but are guaranteed in due course. The delay is not denial but a part of Allah's perfect timing. The Quran emphasizes this with the story of Prophet Joseph, who endured years of hardship before his dreams were fulfilled. His story teaches that trust combined with patience is a powerful tool to navigate the uncertainties of life. The woman who embodies this trust does not rush or despair but remains hopeful and patient, knowing that Allah's timing is impeccable. Trust also enables a woman to surrender her ego and control, which can be major sources of stress and dissatisfaction. When she realizes that she cannot command every outcome, she finds freedom in surrender. This surrender is an act of humility and love, acknowledging that Allah's plan is better than her own. It releases her from the illusion of control and replaces it with confidence in divine wisdom. Furthermore, trust in Allah's plan encourages a positive outlook and spiritual optimism. It shifts the focus from obstacles to possibilities, from fear to faith. The woman who trusts Allah sees every challenge as a chance to witness His mercy and power. This optimism is infectious and can uplift those around her, inspiring them to cultivate their own trust and reliance on Allah. The relationship between trust and prayer is also crucial. Prayer is the means by which a woman communicates with Allah, expressing her hopes, fears, and desires. It is through prayer that she renews her trust and seeks guidance. The consistency of prayer demonstrates her ongoing reliance on Allah and her willingness to submit to His will. This regular connection keeps her anchored, reminding her that she is never alone in her journey. Trust is not without its tests. At times, doubts or fears may creep in, and the path may seem dark. However, the woman loved by Allah recognizes these moments as natural challenges that test and ultimately strengthen her faith. She actively seeks knowledge, support, and reassurance to rebuild her trust and continue forward. Her persistence itself is a sign of divine favor, as Allah promises to support those who strive in His cause. This trust also prepares a woman to embrace future blessings with humility and gratitude. Knowing that everything comes from Allah, she welcomes success and joy without arrogance, aware that both are fleeting and a means to draw closer to Him. This balanced perspective keeps her grounded and focused on her ultimate goal, the pleasure of Allah. Ultimately, trust in Allah's plan is a dynamic, ongoing journey. It deepens with experience, prayer, and reflection. It transforms the believer's relationship with life's uncertainties into one of hope, surrender, and unwavering faith. The woman who embodies this trust shines as a beacon of spiritual strength, a clear sign that she is loved and favored by Allah.